Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Just a quick one today. I guess this is going to be kind of a cardboard proof of life video. Been very busy, as I always seem to be this time of year with work, family, other obligations, but did have a few minutes free today. Wanted to hop on here. I know it's been over a week since I put any content out, and I figured we would go through this little stack of baseball cards that I am looking to get filed away as I tidy up my home office and hobby room here. Some of these are new pickups, others I've had in the collection for quite a while, but just kind of ran across. And we'll start with one of the latter. Great Daisuke Matsuzaka insert from Upper Deck. So this is back from the late 2000s when Upper Deck still had a baseball license. And I love it because I've been getting really into Japanese baseball, Japanese players, Nippon professional baseball of late. And I know some of my hobby pals have as well. The World Series and all the great players that have kind of made the move across the ocean in recent years to play in MLB and are having such success have certainly been motivating that. And for me, in my hometown Boston Red Sox, Matsuzaka is one of the names that definitely comes to mind. I still remember what a big deal Daisuke was when he first came over and his kind of mythical pitch array that he had, and was actually a really successful pitcher, at least for the first couple of years with Boston. And then lasted a few more years beyond that in MLB as well. This insert, they would do these Star Quest inserts. I think this was in the 2008 Upper Deck flagship set. And these are a throwback to the 90s. And I kept this one in my purge because it is the Black Ultra Rare, whatever that means. So just a cool card, great shine, and somebody who I really enjoyed watching back in the day. I was kind of at my height of Red Sox fandom when he came over. And then let me move this to the side. Next up, I've got a pair of 3D cards from the Topps On Demand 3D program. This ran for 5 years between 2018 and 2022. And this here is a 2019 Miggy. Apologies for the glare there. These are very similar to like the Kellogg's cards that a lot of us grew up with, but they're done on the Topps flagship design. These were not like pack issued in regular Topps or anything. This was a separate on-demand set. You'd have to buy these online. They did come in packs though, and it was a reduced checklist. So it was really kind of like some of the stars and rookies. They did not replicate like every single Topps flagship base card in 3D format. It was a much smaller checklist every year, but there's Miggy, somebody who it seems to me like we don't hear very much about in the hobby already, even though he's only been retired a couple of years now, and is a member of the famed 3,000 hit club, also a Triple Crown winner back, I think, in 2012. So really great player, and happy to have that one. Then the other 3D that I have is the Aaron Judge from 2021. Great image there of Judge. Looks like he just cranked a homer. And this, I believe, I need to double check this. Should have dragged them out for the video, but again, the whole lack of time thing. I believe this completes my 5-year run of the Aaron Judge Topps On Demand 3D set. So that's pretty cool. Player that I love collecting and had another great MVP caliber season. And even though I'm a Red Sox fan, let's stick with the Yankees here for another couple of cards. This first one I've shown before. I believe I got this from my buddy Dan over at Old Sarge Collects. Might have been Dylan, but I think it was Dan. But anyway, this is a great Mickey Mantle refractor from 2009 Topps Chrome. Look at the shine. I mean, no etching or anything. They really kind of started to sort of flatten the refractors by 2009, but still, what a great image. Palm trees in the background. Killer card. As I was going through my ongoing kind of purge and condensation of my collection, ran across a card that I may have gotten rid of, but I decided to keep it just because it pairs so well with this Mickey Mantle, and that is the Derek Jeter from the same set. A couple of Yankees legends there. Love the image on the Jeter. You have that W.B. Mason wall advertisement in the background there in yellow, and that striking leaping pose here as he turns 2 against the Rangers. Love that. Just great cropping, excellent action image. So those refractors, these aren't valuable cards. Again, nothing in today's video is really valuable, save the final card, which we'll get to at the end. So a couple of cool refractors there. And then I've got a few buybacks here that have come in. So many of you know this, but in 2025, in the Advent calendars, you get 2 individually wrapped Topps buyback cards. They have continued that trend for the 2nd straight year. Of course, I have been on the hunt for these since the product dropped. I know a few of my hobby pals have as well. And I've landed a few that I want to show today, including, check this one out, Stadium Club Bob Gibson. Staring here at his Hall of Fame plaque. This was obviously a photo from his induction ceremony in Cooperstown. And you've got that Topps Original 2025 ornament stamp there, indicating that this is an Advent buyback. Same stamp as last year, with the only difference being the change in the year from 2024 to 2025. Of course, Stadium Club buybacks are not eligible for my buyback Frankenset project. I stick to strictly Topps flagship for that project, but I do have a second kind of a secret project that I've alluded to a couple of times now that I'm working on in the background, and this will be a perfect fit for that. On a similar note, this will also go into that side project. Check out this Stadium Club Duke Snider. Beautiful buyback here. I love the black and white photograph. And one of the big three, of course, center fielders operating out of New York City in the 1950s, alongside Mantle and Willie Mays. So love that Duke. That'll go right alongside the Bob Gibson. And then I've got a couple of newer ones here. So check this one out. Freddie Freeman from 2019 Topps, the man who's had pretty heroic moments in each of the last two World Series. So I think somebody who is destined for the Hall of Fame in the future. And a great image there. And 2019 Topps is definitely a set that is growing on me so much. I've mentioned it, I think, a couple of times now, but this is quickly becoming maybe my favorite flagship design of the 21st century. So I struggle to get that out. I worked a 14-hour day yesterday, so if I sound like I'm exhausted, I pretty much am. Here's a fun one. This is from my all-time favorite release, 1990 Topps Baseball. It is the Kirby Puckett All-Star. Now, I already have a copy of this from a different buyback program in the Frankenset, so this won't go in that binder. And I have a copy of this from a prior buyback program in my 1990 Topps set binder as well. So this one, this third copy, is going to my kind of secret project along with those Stadium Club cards and the Freddie Freeman. But really great card here. I love the image of Kirby sprinting out of the box. And as I mentioned, I think every time I show these, I love that the All-Star cards in the 1990 release kind of harken back to those original 1958 All-Stars, and that the AL is done with a red color scheme and the NL is done in blue. So great Kirby Puckett. This was like a $4 pickup. So satisfying. These buybacks are really fun to chase. And while some of them are certainly getting kind of exorbitantly expensive or more difficult with a lot more competition to acquire, there are still plenty of cheap, low-hanging fruit options. And I've been loving kind of picking some of these up. Here's another one, Mookie Betts. Always love the image on this one from 2022 Topps originally, and then again included in this buyback program. So beautiful shot there. I love the prominent red number 50 uniform number, and just really good job here with the photography selection, the cropping. I love the design, the team color match on the nameplate. Just a lot to love about this Mookie card. And it's also card number 50 on the checklist, which I think was a nice touch. I love when Topps or Fanatics do that with significant players and do either their jersey number or, a feat that they had the season prior. I just think that's a really neat touch. So happy to have that Mookie. I have quite a few Mookie buybacks at this point, but always looking to add more. Here's a fun one from 1988 Topps featuring Big Mac. Love the Record Breakers card here. This might have been for like most home runs for a rookie. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure it says on the back. Yeah, rookie record for home runs with 49 in 1987. So he was just on top of the world. And I love the image here. Just really stunning, beautiful colors on this. Really happy to find this. And I believe this one I paid like $2 for. So again, if you're searching around, you can find those buy it now bargains sometimes, and feels really good to get another McGwire. That one did not make the Frankenset either. As you would imagine, card number 3 has a lot of competition. But again, all of these that I'm showing are going into this kind of other binder that I'll get to at some point in the future. And I think lastly, oh no, I may have one more holiday buyback, but for this portion of the video, got a Rickey Henderson Turn Back the Clock. Now I love this because 2019 Topps really reminds me of 1982 Topps from a design element, which is the card that is shown on this Turn Back the Clock Rickey. Really cool. And 82 is also my birth year, so I love that set for that reason. And I always love the Rickey Henderson. And like the Mark McGwire record breaker that we just looked at a moment ago, this one also represents a significant feat from Baseball Pass. So love that, Ricky. Again, all of these cheap. And this one, I've already got a copy of this in the buyback Franken set. So this one will go to that other secondary project as well. And now let's move just for a minute or so here into some Negro Leagues pickups. So over the past 2 to 3 years, I put a pretty big focus on the Negro Leagues, and I've been building out, as I've alluded to, a Z Folio album as a tribute to all of those players and the history of those leagues. And I have a couple of buybacks here that I picked up that are going into that binder as well. Found this Sporting News Rookie Stars Frank Herrera from 1959 Topps. Love the background on this. They did a great job with these, wildly off-center. But again, these buybacks, like, you find what you find. They may not exist at all, and you really can't be too picky. Frank was a bridge player, meaning he began his career in the Negro Leagues before eventually migrating over to Major League Baseball. So really happy to find that one. Finding these guys in buyback format is not easy. In some cases, like the next couple that we're going to look at, I've had a save search for years, just waiting for a hit. Another one of those, also going on the 1959 buyback page in that Negro Leagues Z Folio, we've got Jim Pendleton. Infielder, outfielder, sort of utility player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Love the gold stamp on the yellow background for a Pirates card. Just really fitting. Both of these were Topps Heritage box topper buybacks all the way back in 2008 Topps Heritage. So these would have been individually wrapped, sitting on top of the Heritage hobby box when some aspiring collector cracked it open, and happy to have tracked those two down many, many years later now. And then I've got one more buyback. This is also from the brand new Advent program, but this is going to go into the Negro Leagues Z Folio as well. Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub. He played only very, very briefly in the Negro Leagues before moving over to Major League Baseball. Much shorter Negro Leagues career than a lot of the bridge players, but he does count nonetheless. And I have a section of the binder that is dedicated to Allen and Ginter buybacks, believe it or not. I'm looking to fill an entire 2-page spread of A&G buybacks of players who at some point at least took a single at bat or played a single out in the field in the Negro Leagues. So I was pumped to find this one when it surfaced from this year's Advent calendar. I was looking for something to kind of fill an open slot, and I love the prominent Cub patch on the shoulder there of Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. So that does it, I believe, for the buybacks in this video. But I do have another trio that is going into that same Z Folio, and it features the 2024 Topps Update Josh Gibson. I've talked about this card at length, so I'm not going to do it here, but I view it as one of the most important and sneaky cool 21st century Topps baseball cards, just because of what it represents. I have many different versions of it, including the Chrome Superfractor 1 of 1, but these are a trio of cheap pickups that I made for the Z Folio, because I'm going to do a 2-page spread of all different versions of this card just due to its importance. So this is the plain old everyday base card, if you can believe that. Pretty amazing. Nobody really cares about base cards these days, but I certainly do. And happy to have the base Josh Gibson at last. I picked up all the other much more difficult versions and then realized I hadn't acquired the simple base. So this was like $1 shipped, and it's going to go into that 2-page spread. Next to it, we'll go this card. Great shine on this. This is just the unnumbered, standard rainbow foil parallel. They started these, I think, all the way back in 2015. I believe they have run uninterrupted in all of that time, so over 10 years now. Could be wrong, I'd have to double check that. But either way, this is another, I think it was under $2 shipped card, and it's going to provide a little bit of shine on that 2-page spread as well. And then this one I was kind of surprised to find out there. This is normally a card that I would put in like a one-touch magnetic. In fact, I do have a copy of it in a one-touch, but this was available very reasonably. So I decided to snag a second copy for the binder, and it's the Independence Day, numbered to 76. This was out there for like $30 or a best offer, and I think I offered 20 flat, and I believe it was free shipping as well, and my offer was accepted. So I will gladly include Independence Day on that 2-page spread of those Josh Gibson 2024 updates. So you will be seeing all of these cards, the last handful anyway, again, when I show off that album, hopefully over the winter here. I did another recount the other day. I think I'm approaching 90% full on that binder, so very, very close to being able to show it off. And when I get there, that is going to be one of my favorite episodes that I've done. It's been like 2 to 3 years in the making, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. Just 2 cards left here. These are probably the 2 bigger cards in today's video, although this first one was cheap. Managed to snag another of the Jackie Robinson Rainbow Foil Board parallels from Stadium Club that I was missing. I am probably foolishly trying to work on a complete run of this parallel. It started back in 2014 in Stadium Club. I think Jackie has been included maybe 8 or 9 times in the Stadium Club release, but these are numbered to 25, and they are really, really sneaky, tough to track down. And so when this one showed up recently at open auction, like 99-cent starting bid, I knew I had to make a play at it. And I forget what the exact finishing price was, but I want to say it was maybe around $30, $35, which I was more than happy to pay. So adding another Jackie to that run, I believe I have maybe 5 or 6 of these now out of his 8 or 9 that he has. So I'm getting close, and certainly a project that I will keep up with in the future if he makes more Stadium Club checklists, which I expect that he would. And we'll put that guy up in the background here while we talk about the finale, which is definitely the biggest card in today's video, and one that I'm really relieved and excited to add to the collection. I've been trying to find one of these all year long, but the competition is really tough, or really the second half of the year. But this is the 2025 Topps Black card number 1, Shohei Ohtani. Look at that, the hitting image. Now, I showed in a prior video, I do have card number 400 from Series 2, which is the pitching image, and I did manage to get that in the Topps Black parallel. But getting this hitting image, card number 1, has been definitely a struggle. These have gotten wildly popular, pretty expensive, a lot of competition out there to acquire these, and I'm just really grateful to have gotten a nice clean copy. Here's the back, card number 1, and these are numbered to 74. Interestingly, we'll see what the fate of this parallel is again. After Fanatics made the foolish decision to not include these in Series 1 this year, there was kind of uproar among collectors. They ended up putting them in Series 2 and issuing all of the black parallels for the Series 1 and Series 2 cards all in the Series 2 packs. So this would have come out like mid-summer. But then when Update came out like a week or 2 ago now, there's no Topps Black parallel. So I don't know what that means for the future, if they're going to include this in 2026 Topps or not. I certainly hope they do. It would be a foolish decision on the part of Fanatics to eliminate this, but we'll see what the future holds. But regardless, I am really, really happy to have the hitting image to pair with the pitching image coming off of and representing one of Ohtani's arguably best seasons to date. Just incredible what he has done in the game of baseball. And I enjoyed that postseason and World Series more than I have any World Series in years. And so, yeah, just happy to have that one. I'm going to wrap it there. I can't believe I've gone on more than 18 minutes. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. I will try to be back sooner than I was this time with some more content. And in the meantime, I hope everyone out there is enjoying the hobby. Take care.